Hey guys, in this video here, my beauties, Lena over there and Matilda over here are going to help me explain how much it really costs to own cats. The calculations are based on how much we spend. I know that different people will use different types of food, so that will influence it. Where you live also influences. We live in the US and our city is quite expensive. Some people will feed much more premium food, some people will feed simpler food, but here's just to give you an approximate idea. It's no rocket science and no exact science, it's just how much it costs us. Okay, so I'm not taking into account the initial costs of, for example, adoption fees or toys or a cat tower, the box for the litter, etc. So those are the initial costs that are also going to be quite a bit, but I'm just looking into how much it costs me per month and then per year. Okay, let's do this. So the first thing we need, of course, is cat litter, because these ladies go potty a lot. We use fresh unscented super clumping, I think it's called something like that, and the cat litter costs us 11 per box. We go through one box per week, so in total we spend $44 in cat litter a week. I know it's quite a bit on the high side, but we like to have the litter clean. Then we feed these ladies fancy feast, Purina fancy feast, that's all they eat. I know that some people will not feed wet food, some people will feed a much higher end wet food like raw, etc. We tried, those ladies never liked it. They're very picky with what they like. They don't eat anything that looks like pate, for example. So we feed fancy feast. And we spend around $39 on that. Okay, and again, this I buy it all from Amazon, so prices are pretty standard. Then next we feed dry food. I think it's Purina Chow or something like that. Oh, scratch. And that costs us $21 a month, I think, per pack. They also get treats. The treats that we give them are very cheap, or Temptations, and you can get a pack for $9. We don't like to feed too many treats because I don't think they're very healthy. So we try, we give them in the morning normally. And then Lena gets some chicken. So I put here around $6. Sometimes more, sometimes it's less. Matilda does not like chicken. Incredible, but she does not like chicken, so she doesn't get it. I mean, we tried, but she doesn't eat it. Yeah, so those are just our basic expenses, and as you can see, the basic expenses are already $120 a month. Just out of feeding the cats. I'm also adding some money here for the worming, which is $15. I buy it off Amazon as well, so it's not expensive. We take them to the vet once a year for a checkup. That's $125. And that's actually best case scenario. If they don't get sick, if nothing happens at all, that's $125. But you do have to budget it sometimes. We don't have cat insurance, we just self-insure. And if anything happens, we have to pay it out of pocket. And then one big expense for us is cat sitter. As you can see there, we pay $45 a day for our cat sitter. I know that this is ridiculous, but unfortunately that's how much it costs in our city. I'm budgeting for around 12 days a year. Sometimes I need more. I travel quite a bit for work and for family. So that's a very big line expense for me. Here's around $540. And that's even considering that a lot of the time my friends are covering. So you guys see where this is going. Just in our basic expenses, we are spending around $2,000 100 per year on those two cats, and that's without considering that they may get sick, or there's big life events. Sometimes we have had to move. We used to work in Europe and we relocated to the US for work, so we had to transfer the cats. You have to go to the vet, get vaccinations, paperwork, passport. You have to buy them tickets. So the costs add up pretty fast. So if you're thinking about getting a pet, a cat or pet in general, you should be really aware of how much it costs. It can be quite expensive. And you see, I didn't add any cost for grooming. If you have a dog, it's probably going to cost quite a bit for grooming as well. I wash my cats, I trim their nails, so I basically do the grooming myself. But it is a big expense, and once you get a pet, you should think it's like having a child. It is for life. If your life situation changes, you have to be prepared. You're gonna take the cats with you. You're gonna be able to deal with the expense because it's going to be expensive. It's for me, it's a big life commitment. It's a big life decision. Also, you travel, you have to go somewhere, you have to find someone to take care of the cat if you cannot afford a cat sitter. All those things I think are really important to take into consideration before making the decision of getting a pet, because a pet is for life. Your life situation is going to change. You're going to have to adapt, and leaving the pet behind should never ever be an option. The only option is they are your family, they go with you. So just inviting everybody to be super responsible with their choices and to really think this through when they decide that they want to have a pet, because they give you so much love. They are so worth it. I would do this all over again, but I know that it is a big financial burden, and I am happy to take it. All right, I hope you guys have found this helpful, and leave us your comments how much you spend on your cats. And I know that some people are going to be spending considerably less, especially if you live on a different country where cost of life is cheaper and you don't have the crazy cat sitting expenses I have. But leave us your comments. Would love to hear how that looks in other parts of the world and of the country. Thank you for watching us. Say bye-bye, Lena.